What y'all wanna do?
Hope's Baptist Hospital. Right?
So what I understand, he went last night, isn't it? Yesterday, last night sometime. Jeff,
Yeah, she lost her mind.
He went home today.
oh, you did?
And let him go home.
He did too.
No, he was in hospital.
Oh, I know, that's why.
Not big.
Never been on.
All right. You want, Miss Andrew, you wanna do the prayer?
Well, it's probably.
Yes, he.
Well, we're gonna call the May 14th, 2024 City Council meeting to order. Want to remind everybody to silence their cell phones, and Ms. Landry's gonna lead us in prayer.
Bow with me, please. Father in heaven, we come before you tonight, just praising you, Father, for your goodness, your mercy, your watch care, your provision, your protection, all of that, Lord. You're so good to us. We thank you for the rain that we've had, Lord, but we pray that we would not have any more destruction. I pray for those who have suffered under this severe weather and pray that you would provide for their needs. I lift up the Demp's family tonight to you, Lord. We understand that Hope's mother passed away this morning or today sometime, and just pray you would comfort them and give them peace and love that only you can. Be with us as we go forward with this meeting. Help us to deliberate in our decisions and to be professional in our attitude. In Christ's name I pray, amen.
Amen. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Leah, may I say one thing
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
before the meeting starts?
Yes, ma'am.
The new business on Highway 19, Culture Fresh. I guess you all are aware of the accident. And his wife was injured. And she passed away.
Oh,
So could you all please that family?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Perry. Thank you.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you.
Anyway, roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilmember Bryant,
Here.
Councilmember Clinton,
Yeah, here.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Here.
Mayor Ketchum.
Here. Item number 3, approval of the items on the consent agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Councilmember Bryant,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Receiving requests from the general public, the council welcomes you to this meeting. This time is set aside for our citizens and the general public to address the council on any matter not included on the agenda. This is not a question or answer time. It is not a political forum, nor is it a time for personal accusations or derogatory remarks. If you would like to address the council, please come to the podium when you're called, speak into the microphone, and state your name and address for the record. Please also limit your comments to not more than 5 minutes for individuals and 10 minutes for groups or delegations. Do we have anyone who would like to address the council that's not on the agenda? Here, no one. Item number 5. There are no business open at this time.
There was an amended, that I emailed out but failed to print.
Oh, okay, sorry.
My apologies.
I did see that
Yeah.
on my email, but it confused me a little bit. It said that there wasn't any, then there was one, or anyway. Do have a bid, right?
yes, sir.
All right.
Please read before the opening of sealed bids. Currently, I'm opening sealed bids for paving. I will only be reading out the vendor and the amount of the bid. There will be no discussion at this time about any bids that's being opened. These bids will be given back to the purchasing agent and then go to the department which the sealed bid is for. City reserves the right to reject any and all bids. the city reserves the right to select the bidder. Waived
All right.
any informalities,
I missed one.
accepted the bid deemed to be in the best interest of the city. Any errors in the bid submissions are the responsibility of the bidder. Right? Dale, did you want to say something?
I asked my bid not to be open. And I asked John Hart this morning, late last night or this morning, and Miss Penny, and I asked my bid not to be open, conflict of my company, and I cannot do it, perform the services.
I
I
told,
asked my bid not to be open.
yeah, I told him even if we offered, say he was the lowest bidder and we offered him the job, he could still decline it. But
I just
he and I
asked
just
it not
thought,
to be open.
let you guys be the ones to decide if we want to open it or not.
I'm okay if you don't want to open it.
Respect his wishes. Seems like I'm gonna be working anyway. What's the point?
So,
That is a bid. You personally,
Me personally asked you not to open
No,
my
no.
bid. Not nobody else, me. I've
No.
asked not to open, it's a conflict to me. I've rewarded a contract last night I didn't know I was getting.
it's your personal bid.
it's Young Strike.
Young striping bid, my bid. I've asked you not to open my bid.
You're just retracting your bids, all you're doing.
That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
And that's for paving.
Yes, sir.
You can pull your bids, it's a.
Okay, cool. Going to keep it or give it back to them? Everyone's the witness. Okay. All right. Let's try. Wilkes Cypress. Correct? Different streets. $520,217.
$5.22.
Yeah, basically comes out.
Who is that from?
Wilkes Site Prep.
They did not, bid individually.
They did,
Read those.
okay. West Marguerite, 77,000 and change, so short. Springfield, 43,000. Maurice Linton, 90. Howell Drive, 36. Blair Avenue, 62. Bacon Street, 47. Dundee, 48. And Lothridge, 114. This one's from Blankenship. Asphalt. And their total is $839,145. Want me to read those off,
Yes, if you would.
Marguerite, 137. Springfield, 63. Maurice, 157. Powell, 46. Blair, 102. Bacon, 69. Dundee, 68, almost 69. And Lothridge, 193.
Where's, okay, Lothers, is that the walking trail?
No.
Or straight?
Straight in there.
It's a paving.
Okay, there's a Lothers Street as well as Lothers, okay.
What really needs to be done is good.
That's
Gotcha.
not what they're doing.
and getting cold.
I put it there next to the parking lot.
Street goes through.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Oh, I did get a fancy gizmo. Got this taped up good.
scissors are there.
Scissors actually. It's like computer bottom. Let's see which one's faster. You're good. And this is PV, and then they had a estimate here. PV and Son. Yeah. Oh, here we go. That's what I wanted. 317,549. And that one breaks down as Marguerite, 50, Springfield, 25, Maurice Litton, 58, Powell, 21, Blair, 38, Bacon, 27, Dundee, 27, and Lothridge, 69.
50 or 60.
69.
Is that the same company that did Ellis?
I don't recall.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Also, yeah.
Hold on.
All right. Thank you very much. Then we'll move on to any discussion on it, or we good?
No, we don't do anything till I do it.
Okay. All right, general business, agenda item 6A, Lauren Ezel to discuss debris removal and water quality. And council will take any actions deemed necessary. Good evening.
Good evening, hope everybody's doing good. The Lauren Ezel, 121 Shady Oak Drive in Perry, Florida. And my first and my biggest concern is our water quality. The people I've discussed this with over the past couple of weeks, before, coming before you all, everybody's over it. I mean, we're beyond over it. For the longest time, I made my coffee in the morning with city water. And by the time I got out of my shower, I was ill, dry heaving, gagging, and sometimes vomiting. Lo and behold, I thought I was gonna have to stop drinking coffee, which is a start of my day. I changed the bottled spring water, the simple southeastern spring water you buy at Winn-Dixie. I haven't had a problem since. Not one problem. Can I ask how many different chemicals are in our city water? Does anybody know? Two. Phenomenal. 2 different chemicals, maybe that is. The next is every time the fire department, there, I guess y'all are required to flush the fire hydrants throughout the town or do whatever, or every time there's those big water tank trucks that fill up here, it costs me $51. That's how much a filter on my refrigerator costs. No matter where I buy it from, it's $51. Next thing.
What is it? Is it breaking stuff loose and getting in any filters?
I guess it clogs the filter up.
Okay.
And it just cost me a new refrigerator. Because I had to buy one because my ice maker had to work. What it does is send whatever into the system, clogs the filter up, and then reduces the water supply to my ice maker, which makes the ice cube smaller, which then gets clogged up in my auger to burn the motor up. And for 2 years, I've been trying to get a new ice maker, somebody to replace it, to no avail. Thanks to COVID and what everybody else deals with. I'm confident it's not just me. But that's why I'm asking the council to suspend charging people. It's unsatisfactory. Water, it's not suitable to drink. The other morning, straight out of my refrigerator, threw filtered water in a black cup. The water looked like I might as well did that out of Finn Holloway River. That's what it looked like. That's what it smelled like. It's my view, and a lot of other people's that I've spoken with, it's ridiculous. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to buy sprinkler. A lot of people aren't. Elderly, disabled, fixed income people, they can't absorb that much. I'm fortunate that I can. And I'm appreciative of that fact. All right, so my next thing is debris pickup. People are still recovering. I still have more, even though I've got, as the letter stated, I have more than one load, which is, one load is 18 cubic yards. It's gonna be $50 for the first load, $100 for every load thereafter. Once again, I can absorb those costs on my utility bill. There's other people, as previously stated, that cannot. $250 would put them out months of recovery on that. And I'm not asking to suspend it, I'm just asking to give some consideration to people in this community that can't absorb that cost. Go out, assess their property, get them, have them sit and put it in the paper. Have them come to the city to request an assessment of their property and make sure that it's hurricane damage. We've got 3 pine trees that are damaged from the hurricane leaning over. One of them's coming down on my house in the next heavy storm. One of them's going in the pool, the other one's gonna tear down the rest of the fence. And the resources before the FEMA deadline were not available. And there were still predator contractors in this community charging outlandish prices to clean up people's property. Thousands upon thousands of dollars, which I've spent also thousands of dollars cleaning up my property and recovering. So help people that's left less fortunate, assess their property and say, hey, we're going to give you a break, cut you a little slack maybe, and just help the community recover. Because we still got the hot summer one that's coming. All those pine trees that are damaged are going to get bugs in them. Well, by September, October, November, I'm not a tree expert. By the end of this year, they're all going to be dead and coming down. And that is direct impact of hurricane damage. 2023 wasn't a kind year to us. Everybody agrees. But that's what's why I'm asking. So, city lots that are not being taken care of, they're not, is the city not liable for the code of keeping lots maintained and clean? Or can y'all answer that?
Yes,
We
As
are.
far as I know, we are,
You are?
because there's one right across the street from your house that's,
At the at the curve on Plantation, where Shady Oaks Drive comes up Plantation. You cannot see to the left because of the overgrowth.
right,
And it's been a train wreck. It was a mess before the hurricane. It's a train wreck now. Well, if I'm pulling out of my street with a boat or a trailer, once I pull out, I'm committed. There's no stopping.
Is it on Plantation?
Yeah, it's that city lot.
Plantation is county road.
Well, I'm talking about the lot itself, that's owned by the city.
there's like a 1 acre lot
Yeah.
on the curve, inside the curve,
Yeah, so, and
right at Shady Oaks where it comes in.
correct. It's on the inside of the curve, the whole lot.
Yeah, I didn't know till a few months ago it was a city owned lot.
Right. And there's a lot of old ones in town.
Yeah, they're scattered all over.
Yeah, and, the city acquired them, however, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't work for the city, but, and people are held to that code enforcement. But then they turn around and look at the lot next door. And it's owned by the city and it's totally unsatisfactory. I mean, some of the feedback is that I was told that the city doesn't have the money. They're struggling enough to pick up debris. And I understand that. Which probably because I have been charged before, a lot of people may have not been charged before now. It's probably why the city was losing money picking up debris. April was 8 years since I bought my house. I pulled every azalea bush possible out of my backyard. I've had over 20 pine trees cut off that property and piled them by the road. I've never heard a word, never saw a letter. I mean, and it's, nothing. Maybe that's why we're losing money, because we weren't charging people. So now, this is a side note, this is the last thing I'll ask. The perception of this letter I received and the code right here. Okay. Can y'all put wording next to where to breathe or the statute, the effective date of that statute. I think I talked to John, he said it was been 20 years ago, that statute was implemented. And also the date of the highlighted residential commercial trash pickup in excess of 18 cubic yards per month goes to $50 per load and $100 there. Can we put a revision date next to that? Because, can I approach the council?
Yes, sir.
So this is perception of this letter. If you look at it, there's no date of this. Excuse me, but the introduced on September 13th, 2023. Signed into effect on September 26th of 2023.
After the hurricane.
When I first read this, I was irate, just like anybody else might be. But you see my perception about that? It looks like the council came up here and had a meeting within days without power, because I know I was still out of power. Most everybody around here is out of power. And then passes within weeks after. So that's why I'm asking you to put dates on there. That way it'll save anybody else from having this outright dissension toward that.
I see your point.
Trying to help here.
John, you
It
got
shows
that?
you at the bottom.
I didn't, if it's on there.
No, not your copy.
Right.
What I had to mail you is
Right.
what, it's not updated in our Municode, but in the front of Municode, John, where it has the review and granted. I'm not sure, but look right there, the street sales, see where it talks about
Right.
the different one, but it's not gonna tell you each section.
Right.
You would have to go to that,
I'd have to
we
go.
would have to find it here.
But you get look at the first few lines, it's like, wait a minute, yeah,
Right.
they gathered up right after the hurricane and passed the.
Just letting y'all know what the perception of this letter.
Sure.
And until I talked to John, when he told me how old it was, that relieved a lot of that. So I'm just,
We put all the rates in one ordinance, so when we go to change it, they're all right there together. We don't have to change it all. Let's stay together.
And that's
I see
been
what
an
you're saying.
ordinance for many years, it was just never followed.
right. Well, I don't work for the city and I don't know anything about it. So that's, I'm just
letting them know, because
trying to help.
they're new council as well, so.
Lauren, you want this back?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And we do, just so you all know, people that we have picked up, I do offer that they can break it up in payments. Because we do understand it is a gift, so we are offering that, they can make payments.
Well, if they got less than a truckload or whatever.
If it's less than a truckload, they don't get charged. If
Right.
they have a truck and a half load, they only get charged for one truckload.
And I mean, like I said, there's a recent statistic, age 25 to 55. More than 50% of that age group, if they have an emergency cost of $600, it goes on a credit card because of our economy, inflation, and the way it's already going. And
I
I'm just,
understand.
but like I said, just for people less fortunate, go out there and assess their property and say, yes, that's hurricane damage, and we're gonna try to help you out as a city. Because everybody's still recovering. That's all I'm asking, just consideration of it. So,
The part you're talking about a lot, we could take care of pretty quick.
yes, sir.
And I know exactly what you're talking about with that storm debris.
Yes, sir.
I got it. A lot of people got it.
Yep.
And we're gonna have it for a while. It won't clean up in probably a year or more. Because some people do not have the money to pay for it. I'm going to offer a motion that residential trash excess charges be suspended for the next 6 months.
Shirley, would you pull the microphone close to you because the transcription is.
Second. You got it?
Councilmember Bryant?
We got a second, yes,
Just for discussion, Bill, why not make it January 1st, not just 6 months?
Well, January, how many months is that?
That's a little more.
So, yeah,
That's fine, that's fine.
just make it till December, make it till December
Okay, really
31st.
quick, the ones that have been charged, do y'all want their money refunded?
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure.
No,
on record.
I'm only talking about residential.
That's all we pick up is residential.
Well,
Well,
we'll talk about that.
let me rephrase that. Residential if they pay for the service, or businesses, but a lot of times is like businesses, we don't pick their trash up, they're not yard debris. So they're not supposed to.
You're speaking of yard debris, right?
Yeah.
Jim?
Yard
Yes,
debris.
sir. Hurricanes, I know this past Friday, a bunch of more stuff fell.
Right. Yeah.
That's Mayor
Oh,
Landry.
Yeah, big time.
That's not, yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. That'll fix that for a few months.
Yep,
All right, well, I appreciate that a lot.
it's gonna slow us down,
Yeah.
but we'll do it.
I have-
Well, what we were doing was just picking up like once a week, taking a day and doing this stuff, but
We all should
Well, I
realize it's
understand.
gonna slow us down.
I hope
Yes.
I hope it's in the paper that it's gonna slow us down and people need to be patient. Because people are not been patient.
Well, people,
There's a lot of,
people understand. I mean,
Yeah,
most of it reasonable. people
not to
understand.
do this, but they're expecting their trash to be picked up once a month. There's just no way.
Yeah, and see, probably out of that debris pile in front of my house, maybe 10% are some pines that got hit by lightning. That's not, so that, there was a lot of lightning the last couple of summers that, I mean, hit my house. Killed a TV, my Xbox, okay? But anyway, so I appreciate your time. I appreciate you letting me speak.
I have one question,
Yes,
Mr. Ezell. I want to back up to your water.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there discoloration and
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, when I drew it, I ran out of bottled water the other morning
is that everyone?
it's
and,
a little bit lighter than that.
and then I got it out of the
It's
refrigerator.
a little bit lighter than that.
And it was like I said, I will dip it out and pin the Holloway, and it's not just me. I believe Ward lives 2 streets over from me. Same thing. I've spoken to several people, Mark Wiggins. He lives out closer to Old Dixie, his is the same thing.
I want to know why.
But it cleared up for a while, then it came back.
I want to know why we can't get clean drinking water. Somebody tell me why.
Well, it changed the flush last year, we need to flush this year. We wait to flush as soon as humanly possible. We're gonna start flushing next week or probably, so she can get it advertised.
I'm gonna try to send it, it'll be in Friday's paper.
I thought we'd already been flushing.
We started flushing last year and a hurricane come through and stopped us. And we haven't gotten back to it. Dealing with all the other problems.
Okay, so the flushing that we've been doing was in a specific.
Localized.
It's in Buffalo.
Yeah, we had.
Yes.
My problem with this is that we act like there's nothing to it. I don't want to have colored water to drink. I don't know about everybody else, but I have many health problems. No one in the city should have to tolerate this. And we've got to do better. John, I don't know what you gotta do, but you've got to get it done.
John, excuse me. I discussed this with John a few weeks ago. I assumed, which is my mistake, that was taking care of that flushing issue. And here I am embarrassed to find out it was not.
Did we just put in 3 new filters at the plant?
That's part of the problem.
They're not up and running yet.
Okay, how
Still
long
waiting on
before
final.
they will be?
I don't have a deadline on it at the moment. We're still waiting on the final sampling to do with bringing it online by DEP recommendation. We cannot bring it online until we get these final samples.
I understand that. Is that going to solve a lot of these
I'm not gonna
problems?
say it'll solve, but it should make this a lot better. Along with flushing, a thorough flushing of the system, we never finished it last year. That should make a serious difference.
And as far as color in the water, if the water's got iron in it, it's gonna be colored.
It's not entirely an iron issue. A lot of.
I know,
definitely the
I know.
aging pipe.
I don't
Just
want
saying,
colored water.
Sometimes, well, if it's iron in it, there's
If
no way
I'm
that,
paying for it, I want still water.
Huh?
Everybody else deserves it.
you're right.
No problem is your newest water plant's been down.
Why?
While the filter project has been going on, the plant has been offline.
So
Due
you're
to a lot
pulling,
of these changes, there are requirements of sampling once it is finished.
you're pulling
They
harder
cannot
from,
run water until that is done.
you're pulling harder from your two oldest wells. Not relying on your newest one at all. As soon as we get that well back online, you can drop down what you're pulling on the two older ones. And it'll clear right up.
And that's why I feel like we're going to have a serious.
If you don't flush, it's not gonna clear up.
We have to flush as well, yes.
We have been, the water department has been flushing, the fire department hasn't started their flush, but we are flushing.
We got, how many employees? They could all flush.
I only have so many men in the water department you can flush, along with doing the regular daily work orders, changes, fixes, and.
I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get a plan together. Make it work.
It's no more than right.
Either way, so you don't have any idea yet when, okay, the flushing part of it, when, any idea when is that going on now, or is it
Well,
gonna happen
if she gets
soon?
it in the paper Friday, we'll probably start Tuesday of
Yeah, it
next
was
week.
too late today to get in.
So we can start Tuesday and start flushing, but it's not just going out and opening up hydrant flushing. We've got state readings and all that stuff from the water, the static, flow pressure, and
Why do you have to do that?
cause your ISO record,
And so ISO sits back dumb and happy and does not penalize us for not flushing, period. How
Well,
many years,
that-
how many years have we not flushed, period?
we flush on every year. We just haven't been taking the records like we
I
supposed to.
understand.
The flow. We ain't been getting the credit for the flow,
Okay, I understand.
so that's why we're doing it this year.
So it's gonna start like next,
Something else-
sometime next week.
Something else to also consider, if we went out and flushed, if we got 30 people to start flushing all at once. If it's not disturbed, it needs to be disturbed from the pipes and pulled in a single line. That's why it's always been a system of how it gets flowed. If not, if you go to multiple places and just flow your water, everything will be cloudy and
What
nasty.
did I say? I said, come up with a plan. I know you can't do that.
But we got everybody to do it, though.
There's a way to do it more than just fire department.
All right, so we'll be starting next week, and then the new system's gonna come online,
Engineers told me 2 to 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks it'll be online, then,
That's
Okay.
that's not your problem. It's not having that treatment plant running and pulling harder on your oldest well.
right, I got you.
Yeah.
So then like 4 to 6 weeks, we should start seeing a huge difference in our water quality. It is, I agree.
Well, where I live, I'm pulling water before you are. And if it was this well or this plant, why don't I have a problem?
Well, I know it's at our house, it was, like I said, it got kind of dark, not dark, but I mean, it had this, I think it was magnesium or something was in it, was sticking to the toilet bowls and all, but anyway, it got clear, then it started up again, so what you're saying makes sense to the new plant offline, so.
Have a whole plant line running off 2 plants, and now you have water going different ways than it's ever been before. There's
Right.
always gonna be stagnant water in your system somewhere when you shut a whole plant down. It's moving in different ways, it's never moved.
Yeah, it's part of that loop around system you worked on, wasn't it, Mr. Bill? Did y'all work on some kind of system to loop the pipes together to try to keep it flowing? So it wouldn't get stagnant there back in the. Anyway, so we're making progress and appreciate it, Lauren.
Yep, I appreciate y'all time and thank you, Bill, for the motion.
Item 6B. Ellen Dolan Mead to discuss youth football program and council will take any actions deemed necessary. Is Mr. Allen here? I don't see him. Guess we're gonna do that another night then. All right, agenda item 6C. Second and final public reading or public hearing. On my glasses. Second final public hearing for the city of Perry to consider applying for the Florida Department of Commerce for one or more small cities community development block grants for the 2024-2025 CDBG program year, and council will take any action deemed necessary. Sure.
These next four agenda items are all related to CDBG grant.
Good afternoon, I'm Andy Neeson. I'm, helping the city with this, this grant application. We had that public hearing last time, that was the first public hearing. And this one is to get comments from the public on the actual grant application and what the idea is that due to the mill closure and the hurricane, there's been a lack of, within jobs, law, economic decline in the city. And so the theory is that if some of the downtown can be improved, then you might get more people to move in, more jobs, and increase the economic development activity of the town. And so this grant would ask the Florida Department of Commerce to pave some of these streets, especially Main Street from US 19 to draw people out from US 19 into the town, hopefully. And also some of the streets within the downtown area could be paved. So we're looking at Quincy, South Quincy Street, South Orange, South Washington, North Walker, the north-south streets, and then east and west, West Main Street and West Drew Street, and also West Green Street. So, you know, if funding is available from the Florida Department of Commerce, they'd like to help out the city, and this is one way to do it. Of course, there's any number of ways to improve your economic conditions. I think there was a retail study that you're working on? And so that's one way of doing it, fixing the downtown area. So this is one of many opportunities that the city has. And so as with any grant program, you apply for the grants that the agencies want to fund. This is what we were told they want to fund this. There's going to be more opportunities. We just spoke earlier at a meeting about the recreation grants to improve the recreation opportunities in the city. So that's another one, hopefully, that they'll get funded as well. But this is just to inform the public that these grants that the city is considering to apply for these this funding opportunity. And if there's any comments or any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
What's the budget?
Well, the way the CDBG program works is that the normal regular program, the city is allowed to apply for $700,000. So we're asking them to fund $700,000 worth of street improvements, that would just pave Main Street and Drew Street. But we're also asking them that because of the mill closure and the hurricane, that we want another $1.4 million to pay the rest of the streets that we just mentioned, the north south. So it's a little over $2 million altogether. Whether or not they'll fund it,
Again, what's the budget?
a little
The
over.
detail of the budget.
Well, see, it's in the handout here. We have street repaving is 1.5 million. Parking is 174,000. Administration, 115,000, engineering, 300,000.
Okay, so that's 300,000. What if I got an engineer for 300,000?
That's just the budget. The actual fee would have to be negotiated. So this is the fee. The The thing about the CDBG program is they pay according to the farmer's home rule, RUF engineering fee curve. So the engineering fee is a percentage of the construction. That's the maximum of that. So obviously, if you negotiate a fee lower than that, then that's the city's advantage.
I asked that question. Thomas Dent sat in this chair right here that I'm sitting in. And we got to talking about paving, resurfacing, and the engineering cost on it. My remark to him was, we don't need an engineer, just like we don't have one on this. The majority of that cost is resurfacing. If that contractor doesn't have enough sense to put that new asphalt where the old asphalt was, we don't need him.
I agree. I mean, you do have to have some specifications, obviously.
Right, I understand that, because
But, yeah, this is the maximum they'll pay. So if you, when you get into discussions with your engineer, you would talk about what are the tasks and what's the level of effort and what the reasonable fee would be.
Did I understand you say that just for those two streets, it's 350,000 each?
Yeah, it's not cheap. Asphalt, boy. We've done projects that double in price a year later. You should submit the application, you do the design, a year goes by, the price doubles. It's just outrageous with the construction cost on these things.
And I was just thinking about, a few minutes ago, when we got the bids in several streets.
Yeah, you know, the prices might be significantly lower, and if that is the case, that's to your advantage as well. So these are budget figures. The actual figure will be based on what you bid the project out. So if the bids come in lower, then you'll be able to do more streets. So we took the worst case scenario. If the prices are gonna skyrocket, you should be covered. If the prices come down, you'll be covered as well.
Is the grant necessitating an engineer be involved
Oh,
or?
yeah, you're required to have.
Okay.
Now, another huge part of this is the survey. They have to survey the right of way.
again,
No, I'm telling you, cities get in trouble for paving streets that they don't even own. So you gotta demonstrate that you actually own the street. So it's
That's
to your advantage again to have it surveyed.
that's a survey, not an engineer.
Right, well, that's part of the.
Well, you know, when we get the DOT grants, they have to go through that rigmarole as well. Of course, they're paying for it, just like the CDBG is paying for it, but as a taxpayer, we probably could get a bigger bang for our buck.
John, we need it, so I'm supporting
We
you.
need a motion on this, or what do we?
Well, this is just a public hearing.
Okay.
There are some other items, but we can close the public hearing. And thank you very much.
Before I get
Thank you.
it, John, but you get the Center Street. And that's Central. That should be Center instead of Central.
Center, CENT.
All right, we're gonna close the public hearing on item 6C. Item 6D, resolution 2024-8, a resolution by the city of Perry City Council, Taylor County, Florida, declaring an urgent need, approving application for a state of Florida Community Development Block Grant in the Commercial Revitalization category CDBG-CR, providing an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion, we have a second?
Second,
Councilmember Bryan,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
yes,
Mayor Gentry.
Yes. Agenda item 6E, council to discuss CDBG waiver request petition and take any actions deemed necessary.
Can I explain that?
Yeah, absolutely.
The way the CDBG program works is that, when you submit a grant application, the purpose of the application is to benefit low and moderate income persons. And so that's called the national objective of the CDBG program. There's two other national objectives, and that is urgent need and slum and blight, clearance of slum and blight. So 99% of the CDBG program is for benefit to low and moderate income persons, but if you have a hurricane come through and go COVID, then that could be an urgent need national objective. And so that's why we're asking for to have this funded under the urgent need national objective. So the purpose of the grant, I guess, is how you balance the urgent need.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
How much was that? What you're asking for? Over a million?
2.15 million. Now, like I said, the normal amount is 700,000. So you're pretty good chances that you'll get 700,000 because that's how much you're normally allowed to apply for. But if the department has the funds and they want to help out the town, then they'll fund it, additional. They also have to look at the streets too. The whole purpose of this is to improve the downtown area. Some of it goes to some residential areas, we don't know if they're gonna get that nitpick for it. Generally, the streets are in the downtown, especially to bring people from US 19 to the downtown.
And
That's
that's
the
the
whole
only,
purpose of the grant.
that's the only way you can use that money is downtown.
Right,
And this is part of the revitalization
right,
section,
right, on the CDBG program.
and that's all but going to be based on points.
Well, there's not gonna be too many other people requesting funds under urgent need. So we're hoping you're the only applicant.
I'm talking about 700. 700,000.
What was your question?
700,000.
That would be the minimum, right? Or the normal amount that you're eligible to apply for.
That's if we don't get the urgent need, we're still.
Oh, you would still be urgent need, right? Yeah, they made it pretty clear that they want you to apply under urgent need. They want to help out the city. They told us that, so.
But even under urgent need, we could get anywhere from 700,000 to two. Yeah, okay.
Right, so they say, they said structure it that way, ask for the 700,000, because that's how much you normally go, then they're gonna look at their budget and look at their priorities, and hopefully they'll fund more than that.
Right.
The minimum would be.
But is it still based on points?
Not really, not for urgent, not for urgent.
Does it make any difference if the city puts money in it?
You know, it doesn't, that never came up, with.
Can you summarize these in a short paragraph for me,
Summarize one.
what we're talking about?
Oh, yeah, it's the request.
Well, I'm talking about all of it in writing.
Well, yeah, it's all in the application, we have in the memo there that kind of describes what we're doing. Has the budget there.
Okay.
The streets with a map.
All right, so we need to take any action on this. I'm sorry, Miss.
Do we have a copy of what you all are submitting?
Yes.
Is that,
It's not tonight, but I think we.
okay, all right, okay. Motion, do you need a motion though?
Well, there's several motions on our.
All right, we gotta,
Yes, you need a motion.
yeah, we gotta take them one at a time.
Motion to sign, approve, whatever.
Proceed.
Second,
Councilmember Bryant.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6F, resolution 2024-09. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Perry, Florida, authorizing the mayor to make application to the Florida Department of Commerce for approval of a community development block grant in the commercial revitalization category sponsored by the City of Perry, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
Motion up for discussion.
Second.
Which one? Because Ms. Hampton started as well. Okay, okay.
Where you come?
Ms. Hampton was starting to make a motion at the same time
Oh.
you did.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
What's the grant year of these?
Well, there's a federal fiscal year is,
Yeah.
federal fiscal year 2024 to 23 to 25. We don't know exactly which federal fiscal year the money will come from. So we're just saying, I think it's in there 23-25. Depending on which federal fiscal year. But I think there's two resolutions. One is to authorize the mayor to submit the application, and the other is declaring an urgent need.
There's two.
Right. 2024-08-09.
Did we?
We did the urgent need.
We did both.
You just did the petition and now you're on the, let the mayor sign.
Mayor make the application.
Yeah.
We got a motion and a second.
Mr. Bryant, was there any more discussion? Councilmember Bryant,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchering.
Yes. Agenda item 6G, council to discuss the approval of the wastewater planning task order and take any actions deemed necessary.
With the 300 grand, we need to get started on the wastewater system planning document. It's a requirement to get any of the SRF funds to start making the repairs to the wastewater system.
I got a problem.
Those funds.
Before I award anybody $300,000, I want to go through the process of selection to start find more information about who they are, what they've done. This says the underside. That funds have been duly appropriated. Where are these funds coming from?
50 is a,
So you're gonna spend money obligated before you get it. I'll never do that, I hope.
need to add an agenda item.
Pardon?
Need to add an agenda item.
And, I would want to know who they've done, who the engineering firm has done this work for before. I would want to talk to them. And I want to either go back to this water issue now or later. It makes no difference to me. What I hear, what I've been told is that we had a filter project that failed.
It is not online yet.
No,
Are
talk
we
about
talking about the
before that.
That filter project took place before my time or Gerald's time here before me.
It-
I personally don't think that it was the appropriate choice.
But it failed.
It works, but it has not been online throughout the last 6 months for this current project number. And if that plant has not been online, I can't verify that that water has been any part of this. We have not been running that plant at all for the last 6 months while the filter project has been going on.
And I got a problem with that, with this,
No way
but
to
I'm
run it
talking
while
about,
we were in the middle of it.
what I'm talking about, that the project failed.
And don't we have on the agenda tonight an extension on that, John, the grant,
But no,
the filter
no,
timeline?
no, that's not what I'm talking about. And another issue, we agreed to pay this engineering firm $100,000 for a project. What's the status of that project?
What project?
What
This
project?
project.
New well,
Oh, yeah.
what's the status of that project? Why would I want to give them 300,000 when I haven't completed 100,000? And I'm telling you that my opinion is we need to go out RFPs.
Time for new engineer.
And so I didn't make that in a motion, I'll promotion.
These people normally come before council.
I think we're gonna need, we don't have this plan document by August, I believe we'll miss out on this next round of SRF for wastewater. So all these I repairs we're trying to make, we won't be able to get funded through SRF.
So be it.
What's the deadline on it?
You could get an RFQ out probably in a month. These people have these packages prepared.
Right. I just think it's responsible. You start talking about an engineering fee of 300,000. And even if it said up to, I'd still have a problem with it because I know it would finally be 300,000.
So we're gonna do 150 to the city. 10-year loan at point.
It'll be 300,000 to the taxpayer.
The overall taxpayer, yeah. The city, 150,000. 10 years at 0.48%.
Yeah, this is 300,000. The other was 300,000 as well, wasn't it?
That's the SRF go-to number for engineering planning.
A lot of these, it's a, is it still a 20/80 mix or something like that?
The 2080 will be for construction type work. All the plannings are 50/50.
But we have, cost or time overruns on another current project that he says will be the next meeting.
How you
We
gonna
get
pay for
emails.
this? How you gonna pay for it? The 150 back?
$7,000 loan over the next 10 years.
Well, it's just another mortgage payment that we have. We've got a
another
little
payment.
collection of them.
Well,
They're gonna find $20 million worth of I&I repairs that need to be made. And if I don't have that document, I can't apply to SRF to get them fixed. And we'll be paying 20 million out of the city's money.
you're
I know we pay
gonna be
150 now.
the detailed design services. Probably gonna be up in the millions,
They guess 30 million. for I&I.
the design. No, I'm talking about just the engineering fee.
I don't want the city to be on the hook for $20 million because we didn't spend 150,000.
City on the hook for it all anyway.
The annual payment of $7,800. Semi-annual, so $1,500.
We have a half a dozen of those right now. And some that are bigger. But we'll probably wind up with that anyway, because somebody's gonna do the study. I get that.
Sure,
But let's get somebody that,
sure.
some fresh eyes and maybe make
I
less
don't know.
assumptions.
See, I recall when, Smith and Gillespie was the engineer. They were awarded these projects. And they'd go hire somebody to do it for them.
So you're basically administrating the project. Is this their, were we under some kind of contract with the engineering company or?
Got a genuine service with them, but it's 2018. It needs to be redone.
It's old enough that it could stand to be re-RFQ'd. And they've got several projects with us currently, so I know they're not gonna go hungry, but we can get a new one involved. We technically had Mott McDonald before I got here. You know
Yeah.
that.
They're just a different name.
Yeah. But I'd like to see it change or the fixing.
I'd like the opportunity.
We should have done that sooner. We don't do it done pretty quick. You're missing a whole year. It's like,
Well,
I want to get these out. I'm prepared. I'm tired of having.
how long has this need been there? Probably 10 years.
Oh.
So we've,
I haven't had 10 years.
no, I know that, I know, talking about the city has done nothing really. And we're catching up.
That's why I want to wait a whole other year.
But we have to.
So the deadline's coming up. When about,
They want this back. A week ago. So they can get started on.
who's that you talking about?
Would them coming before council satisfied? Would them coming before council, not coming before council?
In
Satisfied?
my mind,
It wouldn't.
if someone called me for a recommendation, it would be a negative.
Okay.
What will be the pleasure of the board on this item?
I've already followed the motions as far as being.
How long will it take to do the RFP process?
6 weeks.
6 weeks the most.
And you gotta have this moved.
Sorry, opens for wastewater. But you gotta have this planning document done before you can submit it. I mean, SRF knows
That's my
about that.
missing one.
They came up with this 30-something page agreement. They work with these engineers all the time.
What did, real water do for us? On the sewer issue, anything?
That was much with the water issue. They came and agreed to everything we said and walked away.
How did they do sewer before the water?
But you gotta have the planning document to tell them what you want.
Yours a chance.
So what am I hearing? This document's kind of,
The timing.
everything's hinging on this one document.
I would highly recommend just that, let's get through this one and we'll do the so request for service.
But once you've got that planning document by that engineering firm, then you're kind of on
You're
the.
locked in. Okay,
that's-
here.
All the planning document is gonna be a list of all the work that needs to be done. Then you go to another grant, SRF for Swanee River and say, this is what I need done, and they're gonna approve how much ever it is.
If any,
And SRF was gonna approve it. It's just gonna be either gonna be at 80%, 20%, or whatever the percentage is.
But we don't put anything in, there's nothing to approve.
But then you're stuck with that engineering firm.
well, if this, and I understand the importance of it, but I would say if it's so important. Why have we waited 10 or 12 years?
That's not his fault.
I know that, not our fault either. It's nobody's fault up here.
Some of that, like how the wastewater plant was built, I'm sure there was some planning document that said you need a new wastewater plant at this capacity, and that's what they went and got the, like, it was USDA money and maybe SRF money. But if you don't have a planning document, you can't ask for anything.
So what you're saying is if one engineering company does the planning document, we're stuck with that engineer, period.
Florida Rural Water
I
did
said we-
our, yeah, Florida Rural Water did our last wastewater asset management plan and our last water asset management plan. But Mike McDonald was doing the engineering,
Not done what?
has been doing the engineering on some of those projects. That was a Florida Rural Water planning document.
So then why are we paying Mark McDonald?
I don't know how much that would cost. Florida Rural Water did it.
I'm just saying, it's Swanee Rivers. Done the engineering, why are we paying Matt McDonald, Mark McDonald?
This is DEP approving that we get the planning document done. They're paying for half of it and they're giving us 0.2 or so, it was low. Loan for 10 years to get the rest of it done.
Right.
How
Bill,
much was for the bond issue? Don't know,
The bond, oh,
yeah, they just are all, we don't know.
well, these are now, this is the new way they're doing bonds. The
No, I'm
US,
talking about in the market. A bond issue in the market,
oh God,
Like
we don't know,
the one they have is.
but we're willing to throw $300,000.
$150,000.
I still,
I'm willing to throw $15,000 for the next 10 years to get a $20 million grant to get some of this repairs made. Yeah, I'm willing to. I'll pay
I'm
myself.
still, my motion is still there, that we go out for RFP.
Bill, if we awarded them this one, since we're that close to our deadline or whatever, and put the pressure on them to do the ones that are still outstanding, wouldn't that send a message to them that we might be looking somewhere else if they don't come on through?
I don't know, I'm just not satisfied with what they've done, been doing.
Where they at on that, okay, the $100,000 well testing, have they done anything with it at all, or?
Kind of back on us, they gave it, back on us, they gave us a few areas that were good properties and we're trying to.
Trying to identify a piece of property?
Yeah. It's on us to buy the property now.
Well,
But is the property gonna work, is the question, I guess. Another question is,
Test wells and all that.
why haven't we been doing that? When did it get to be our problem? When was it, yesterday, 6 months ago?
Probably 6 weeks to 2 months ago. And then we gotta wait for this SRF project to be wrapped up, so you can apply for the next SRF. You're tied to SRF forever. There's no way we can afford to build a brand new water plant and
Long as you can pay.
we can't pay $20 million for a new water well and treatment. We can pay 20% of that over the next 30 years, whatever they give you.
Well, but see, you're saying you could do it next year. So,
You can only do one wastewater and one water SRF at a time. The filter project's tying up your water till it's complete.
so that's my motion.
And this is the DEP telling you, you need to do this.
DEP told me one time what, we were gonna do with the sewer plant. And I went to Jacksonville and took the keys to them, and gave them the keys to the sewer plant.
I heard that story last week.
I'm not worried about what DEP may or may not do. I understand that may need to be done, but not now.
my point that in Ward, you might know, being a, for construction, your electrical background, it's like if I get a partial roof bid done, and then then they say, he died, he can't finish the job, it's very hard to find another roofer to pick up where he left off. They won't warranty it, they want to tear it all off and do their roof. And that's kind of what I'm saying is, that if they do their plan, their vision of what needs to be done, then the new companies or a new engineer might not want to come in and they'll say like, oh, I disagree with some of that. You know, that's my concern, so that would have to be redone. Because they don't want to pick up somebody else's opinion, so the lifetime of the project.
A few minutes, you're probably gonna approve us fixing Cherry Street for 40 to 50 grand. I could potentially get the whole city done for 150.
We're gonna do what? Approve what?
You're gonna approve us lining Cherry Street sewer for 40 to 50 grand. I can't remember
That's
exactly. what it
fine,
was. Huh?
that's fine.
I can spend
Different issue.
150 and do
It's
the
a
whole city.
different issue.
It's the same thing. That's what this is for.
just reline the sewer system?
This is
A lot of
all
it.
your leaks.
To motion and be set.
Future flow projects, Valo assess infiltration and then flow, recommended improvements. That's what all these are gonna be, is to fix your I problems. Then I'm gonna turn around and apply to Swanee River, to SRF, to whoever got the money, DEP. But I can't do it unless I have this
I understand,
$150,000 document.
I understand that. My motion still is there.
Repeat your motion.
That we go out for RFP.
I was gonna put the whole project off. I don't know, I'm just,
Not to me, it doesn't.
I thought SRFs went year round, they just kind of rotated around.
ASAP. I won't miss this round. I think it's in August, middle August, 14th, 15th, something like that,
But how often do they do the rounds?
like here.
Right, 6
John.
months.
Do you think there's any concern on funding further we get away from the impact of the
That's kind
hurricane?
of going to work out. Right now, they feel sorry for it.
Well, I agree with you. We feel sorry. Would you tell me how much money we just got from the legislature?
No.
How much? What did we get from public safety building?
0.
We didn't even get a thank you or IOU. So no, that's just a wish.
I'm willing to support John on this.
We've been with Mark, no, how long?
You know, now you are now obligated for $300,000 personally.
$150,000.
Personally.
100.
Half loan, half forgive.
You're approving something you don't have. Do you do that at home? Approve to do something when you,
Here you have your opinion, I have mine.
that's exactly right.
Not
And I'm right.
you,
If
whatever
you're
you
wrong.
want.
Proven
But I
15,000 in
still
wastewater
support-
revenue for the next 10
It's
years.
just,
We've been with Mont McDonald 20-something years. Let me get this one in, and then we'll do the request for service. And switch if we need to, but let me get this one in.
We could probably do both and hopefully we do get a new engineer, they'll honor the study and they could probably do change orders.
I don't know that we'll get a new engineer.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
I know.
is that, is
There's
Mont
no date in
McDonald,
here when this will be done that I saw.
what is Mont McDonald? I'm not involved in any of it day to day, so I don't know, but what's Mont McDonald doing that's not satisfactory, I guess, is what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. Just not performing, or
We had a contract with them to do the new well, is that correct? And I haven't done it. That's one,
Well, even that part, there's change orders, and like I said, even the filter project, it's not done on time again, so they're now having to get an extension.
is that their doings, or
I have no idea.
That more or less falls on contractors at this point. There was some final project stuff that didn't get done in time. Nothing that they did wrong, it's just they got pushed back.
Who wrote that contract?
They probably did.
are they the contractor on that?
McDonald wrote the contract.
I mean, first thing, I remember when you was building the spray field, they kept screwing up there out at the spray field.
Yeah,
They were paving over, springs, and they did change order after change order, dumping cement down in there, and they wound up waste a lot of money and time, and they built up a cement thing over the thing to run it up and over. I mean, everything's run slow and overcharging them. That's just my observation.
who have they written one of these things for? Don't know.
motion, whatever you're gonna do.
DEP trust. Only these engineering companies that do work on water and wastewater systems.
I guess as long as they have a valid license, they have to play along. But at any rate, I guess you could pass bills and get this rolling. I don't
Well, that's my motion.
All right, we got a motion. Do we have a second?
We got two motions, which one, Jack?
Well,
My motion was first.
And you're waiting on a second for his.
Wait a second.
okay, the motion dies for lack of a second. So Shirley, your motion was
Sign the document.
go forward with it.
Awesome.
Councilmember Brian,
No,
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes,
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. John. Make them apprised of this, please. Engineering company.
would you do at least one little thing? Put a date in here when this has got to be done.
Agenda item 6H, council to discuss approval letter. Approval of letter to the Florida Department of Transportation requesting a pavement management plan. Which is similar to Nassau County, Florida. To take any actions deemed necessary.
Motion to approve.
Well, you should. Then you get a show.
I'm looking at it.
Got a motion? Do we have a second?
like you said.
Do we have a second? For discussion?
John wants to show.
They come in and rank all your roads, they put a little, I don't know what it is, something on a car right around. And it gives an actual data on your roads and ranks them based on their condition. When you start doing repaving projects, you can go straight down the list of the worst ones.
Is that kind of what you've been doing?
Yeah, that was my own eyeballs and not data.
So DOT would actually. Go do this for you.
Cost?
So gift for us.
It's gonna use this as a prototype for other small rural areas. I think Nassau paid like 50,000. When they first started talking to me about it, it was gonna be 25 to 30 for us. So I didn't bite on it.
So we're gonna use this as a test bed or whatever you wanna call it, that thing.
That's a second. Yes, motion.
Have a motion.
Councilmember Brian,
Yes,
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6I, council to discuss the,
We can
Excuse me.
bring that back to the next meeting.
okay, so we're on table 6I,
Yeah.
all right. Agenda item 6J, council to discuss Cherry Street sewer repair and take any actions deemed necessary. We ready?
Welcome back, Sean.
I've got two quotes here for you guys. One to line the whole main. It's just under $40,000, and then when I was talking to some of the contractors and doing the research on the lining, I come across this company that the city of Tallahassee buys their equipment from, and they went into lining their own pipes. The company's called Permaliner, and one of the quotes is from a plumber who uses their equipment. And Permaliner, to try to sell their product, they're basically giving us a discount to basically show how the product works. I've got the quotes here, and I'll give them to you, but just, I'll go over real quick. I found some stuff in my office to where we had a break in a sewer main in front of the Hampton Inn. And, from what I've seen, it was just one break and it was causing cave in the sidewalk and the road on 19th. Well, the paperwork I found was, it costs like $179,000, I think it was, not more than that, just for that one repair. Some of the quotes I got for us to build a line, 8 to 10 inch pipe ourselves, it's about $80,000.
Tell me about the equipment ourselves to do it with.
Yes, yes, sir. To line 4 inch all the way up to 10 inch is probably, I think it's 130 or more. But I have the quotes here, I'll get it to you. And I have actually some pamphlets here. I only have 2. And they actually emailed me the basically like a video of these. I can send them to you. But what we can spend $40,000 to do Cherry Street, and it's got basically 4 bad spots in it. Now, if we fix the 4, 6 months later, there could be a 5th spot. But I would like to take action to start maybe doing some of this on our own. I know this is not, $80,000, $100,000, a lot of money to have budgeted. But I would like to see this in action. And the Permaliner, they're willing to, they would, when we pay for their equipment, they would train us. So, and with all this rain, it's gonna happen more and more, and there's other spots in town that need to be repaired. And if you're talking $40,000 for 186 foot. But we can do a 10-foot section, ourselves for a few $100 when we get the equipment.
Can you do the whole line?
With the equipment we would get, we could do 10-foot sections, and even if we did it 10 foot at a time, it'd still be cheaper.
You're going to send me a video and I'm going to have to see how it operates.
Well, I'll explain it to
You
you.
wouldn't mind.
Permaliner, they have 2.
So you do 10 foot, then you do another 10 foot and but you don't break the line. You just keep doing 10-foot sections.
Basically the joints is what fails.
Yeah.
And,
So you cover your joints with the,
and it's best, if you can afford it to line the whole line, but we can't afford a line, everything very.
Where are they located?
I'll have to look. They got several offices. I think one here is like 3 hours south of us. But basically, Permaliner, the company, the city of Tallahassee uses one of their lighting equipment. They have a liner that works off UV light. All right, the liners are fiberglass. I don't know what y'all know about fiberglass, but generally mix the resin and apart. And you got so much time before it gets hard.
then you put the UV light,
Well, yeah, we don't want to do that. We want to do the UV. That gives us time to put it in place, spread the bladder up to the light on, and it takes 10 minutes. And you're done.
Up to what size?
Well, I got the quote for 4 inch up to 10 inch it's like $140,000 for everything, just do 8 to 10, which is our main, like Cherry Street's 8.
But if you do 8 to 10, can you do 4?
Well, what we would do is, because of the sticker shock of it, just budget to add the other equipment to it as we go.
what do you change heads or something on the machine or?
It is different ladders, different
Okay.
sizes.
I mean, I'm saying change heads. whatever it is you use to do the different sizes, you buy different dies or whatever.
Yep, like the 8-inch slider will stretch from 8 to 10. And the 4 will go like 8 to 6, and the 6 will go from 6 to 8. You buy it in a roll, you cut off what you need, stick it on like a air bladder.
Hmm.
Slide it in the line, air it up where you want it, turn the light on, it cures, inflate the bladder, pull it out. We don't, I talked to some of the guys living in Tallahassee, use the liner when you mix the resin.
Hmm.
It works good, but you only have about 30 minutes. And if something goes wrong, you gotta get it out. They have the equipment, the robots, Dremels to do so, we don't, so.
And in situ form the same way.
Yes.
You've got that.
So, but they're willing to, come out, show us, teach us. I'll go ahead and give you these quotes here.
We can see it done somewhere else.
Excuse me.
We can see it done somewhere else when our guys over.
Yeah, and like I say, I have a quote, they'll come build a single repair and show us. And that would have kind of fall into some of the training to see if we even want to do it. Because of course, they do it all the time, they're gonna make it look easy. But we would like to, really anything we buy or do in the future, we'd like to rent it or have a demonstration before we consider anything. As regards to, tractor or back truck or garbage truck, whatever. So let me give you these.
Were they talking about coming down and doing Cherry Street as some kind of demonstration or?
Yeah, you'll see on here, like, they give us a discounted price because they're calling us a Permaliner client.
Right.
Permaliner arranged this through this plumbing company.
Oh, okay.
And this is the price for one single repair. Like if we ever need just one single repair. I made 5 copies for Miss Benita.
Yeah.
All right, now the next one I'm gonna give you the same company, but it's 4 spot repairs on that main. Because that's how many bad sections there are on that main. It's just under 20,000. Miss Benita. All right, here is the quote to do the entire main of GCU. And here is the quote from Permaliner for the total cost of the equipment to do the 8-inch line. If we buy it ourselves. I also have these, and I can email these to you. These are just some of the equipment that, we may need to buy. I don't know if y'all want to look over these real quick. But it's just basically, Light Ray is the actual product from Permaliner. But we're ready, I have quotes, we're ready to do the 4 repairs for the whole main. But I just want to give y'all this for consideration, not, we don't have to do it now, but in the future, we would like to, build a liner on mains. Because like I said, there are more, joints that have failed, there will be more and more.
But there's 4 spots on that line.
On that particular line, yes, sir. And like I say, it would be best to line the whole line. You can line the 4 spots, and a year later, there could be another spot. But hopefully, in that time, we'll have our own equipment.
But that's already grant on the good all.
And like, you know, we got lucky the other day, Jamie called in about it was a cave in on Cherry Street down the road from it, and locally it was a 4-inch service near a manhole. And we were able to fill the line full of concrete, basically relay the service more shallow, because the manhole was close to 15 foot deep. And there's no way we have the capabilities of testing it. But if we'd have had lineman equipment, it would have cost a couple $100. So it'll cost us up front, but like, you know, like you see here, 186 foot repair is $40,000. So 2 of these pay for them.
Sean, is this the only company that does UV style line?
I'm sure it's not the only one, it's the only one I could get references on, and the local municipality uses. That was kind of the selling point for me, because, and the city of Tallahassee also uses another company for large, for lining the whole tanks, manholes called Vortex. I reached out to them, they hadn't got back to me yet. GCU got me a quote fairly quickly, and we've done business with them in the past. But yes, sir, there are others, but,
So you have to put it out for bid unless you get a sole source letter.
well, they are sole source. This UV technology, this is their,
Well, then that's sole source. They just need to provide a letter stating that.
now there may be something similar. I mean, yeah, the reference is one that I like for the city of Tallahassee.
And I'm sure that Tallahassee has something to piggyback on.
Very likely.
And they've been using them for 7 or 8 years, and this technology actually came out after. So they're probably gonna be upgraded to this, just for the fact that they don't have a set time in which to place the line.
Sean, if you had this equipment, tell me the good you could do in the city of Pitt
Well,
within a year.
well,
You know, I'm just curious.
we would, I mean, we still have to be careful. We wouldn't want to get carried away. We could- There's But, I mean, there's plenty of stuff for us to repair, so we still have to, you know,
Yeah.
the block of, or the hand limit. If we'd had the equipment, it'd cost us a couple $100. You know, to do the liner. Because it's a trenchless repair. Now, if you have to fix the asphalt, but you don't have to risk life or limb, excavate the hole, put someone there fixing the pipe. Because the water table's so high, it's hard to dig that deep. And I don't know how they put it in here to build it, there was a lot drier. But yeah, we could do, like the other day, when we fixed the 4-inch line. We could sit a liner in and air it up, and we've been done in 20, 30 minutes. We spent the whole day digging it up and patching the road, you know, because you see how expensive asphalt is.
I was just curious.
And yeah, I mean, you have a lot, especially like, you have a lot of alleyways behind these houses. With 8-inch mains. Well, they're so tight, you could dig it, but where you gonna put the dirt? We go in there, line it. And there may be other equipment we will need, and in that brochure, there's you know, machinery for, you know, cutting the roots out of lines, descaling them. But, you know, with what we spent the last couple of years lining pipes, and it's paid for itself 3 times.
Sean, I noticed in the brochure that some of the pipes that they were dealing with were impacted. They had it pushed over to one side and the other side was open. How does that work?
Well, I don't know the picture you're looking at, but basically like your service line. I think that's what you're talking about. Can you show me real quick so I can say the wrong thing?
That one you mean, or?
Oh, there's a better one. Oh, yeah, that other place, sure. I think we did. The other place, sure. Yeah. Like this.
Oh, yeah.
Active.
Oh, yeah, see, like, this is just, you know, from years of buildup, metal
Right.
pipe, tuberculation.
Yeah.
You just, instead of, well, you can't line that because it's too rough.
Mhm.
So before you line it, you'd have to clear it out, and that's what, on the front of this picture, that's basically what that's doing, is it's just spinning and it's getting all that tuberculation and rust out.
Is that piece of equipment included in what you wanted to do here?
I think so. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I know it is in the total thing for the 4 to the 8.
Mhm.
That's like 150 for everything.
Mhm.
That's
Cause I
just,
imagine we got some pipes that look like that.
well, we have mostly clay and PVC, so it doesn't look like that in the bigger pipe. The smaller pipe, the 4-inch, a lot of it looks like that.
Yeah.
We would just basically need a truck or good, jetting nozzles just to clean any gunk or
But that would
debris
be
or
the 4
roots.
inch.
No, this is the bigger pipe. Yeah, bigger pipe. It's clay and PVC.
Yeah.
They won't build the tuberculation like that. They'll just have like grease buildup or roots, and we can get nozzles, jetter nozzles to cut those out. And we have some equipment for that,
Okay.
but there's little things like, we would need training, of course.
Thank you, Sean.
Sounds like a spin.
Kind of, yeah.
On a financial note, Danielle, have we gotten the second truck that we
We
ordered?
did.
And are those trucks paid for?
They were, I believe so.
What?
Should be. Yes, they
Should be?
were, they had to have a check in hand.
Okay.
They had to have a check in hand with it.
Well, I think if we spend that much on trucks, we can certainly spend this much on equipment to do this.
It's equipment works like you say it does. Yeah, it sounds like a no-brainer if it works like you say it will.
Right.
Solar's gonna lay out somewhere. Here, or somewhere.
We had,
It probably does. Technology's come a long way in the past
Do
100
we
years.
have the option of renting? You mentioned that. Do we have that option?
I don't know about renting the equipment, I can find out, but the repairs need to be done anyway.
Yeah.
So we can,
Observe when they,
and then it'll be kind of like a training, a demonstration, and they give us a discount. Because it isn't, if you see, you'll see we're like $3,000 to $5,000 discount. They'll bring somebody down, but then Turner Plumber will come down, and Permaliner, Rex Springfield will come down. And they will go over, the training. So if you do the 20, the 4 repairs, we can see what it is. And, see how it works, and still get the street repaired.
Mhm.
And Cherry Street is safe. We dug up this asphalt where it's settled. There's no voids. It's just basically just a sugary sand that's under it, just kind of going through that. The cracks and pipes, but it's safe. We cut the road up, compacted it, the lime rock back. We're just gonna wait to patch it when repairs are made. But it's safe.
Are you proposing to do the 4 fixes and buy the equipment?
No, sir. If we do the 4 repairs, it'll solve our problem for now. And we will get to see the Permaliner in action. And I would love to do that, but I know that's a lot of money and we may need to be budgeted for next year.
This will be a test drive though, to see if it's where you want to go.
Yeah, so
Where are you gonna get money from?
Cherry Street?
Yeah.
I asked y'all that.
For,
I've
I've got
said,
an answer.
well,
I've said.
for the equipment.
We've got money in ARPA, I mean, we've got money in reserves, and we've got money in water and gas.
Enough money now.
Well, like I said, this, I print this off, y'all look at, sue over, it's just, I would like to do some of this ourselves. I would like to get the equipment to do a lot of this ourselves, because like you see, just before, it's, just for $20,000, that's what it is. And the 186 foot is $40,000.
Well, a lot of times it's not just the cost, it's the time factor.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a line collapsed or
I
whatever.
will allow for motion that we do the floor and see what goes on. At 19.6.
Second,
Councilmember Bryant?
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry?
yes.
Mayor Ketchum?
Maybe. Yes. I think I'd be interested in seeing how the thing works myself. I know UV drying has become a pretty popular, from dentistry to toenails to you name it. I mean, UV drying has become a.
We'll call you, we'll gladly let you watch.
Well, just, I mean, I don't necessarily need to watch it. I'm just curious to see how it works, how it turns out. And I don't see why it wouldn't work. Yeah.
I would love just opinions, like, hey, because you asking me a question might make me think of something. So I'm not close to that. If anybody wants to come out. Because, I mean, this is a lot of money and it's on my recommendation, so I don't take it lightly.
Thank you for research.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's. Like I said, with me, it's not just the money issue, it's the time issue. You can have something fixed in an hour where you gotta pull somebody in and takes weeks or whatever to get in line. That's,
And it's safety too, because a lot of these mains are deep.
I agree. Our soil's not very stable.
I'm sorry, you have to be a sea soil. Very.
Yes, it collapses. Very good. Back to the agenda. Agenda item 6K, approval of minutes, the April 23rd, 2024 regular session.
Motion to approve.
Councilmember Bryant?
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry?
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum?
Yes. City staff, anybody else have anything they want to bring up to talk about? Yeah. City council, Mr. Hampton.
Yep. Yeah, I'll get upset with, Sean,
I just want to say real quick,
real quick.
I'm assuming y'all heard about Frank Lee. Might be operator. Plant, he was all there ready, field.
Yeah, that was the one on the beach road, wasn't it?
I just. Was not, something I was expecting and.
We never do.
I just want to make sure y'all are all aware of it. Yes, the sister came today to told us she's handling his funeral arrangements. So I guess we know that we can inform y'all or whatever, if they have a service. Or we may do something ourselves. But yeah, I just want to make sure y'all know.
Okay, thank you.
While we're talking about that, who takes care of the flowers?
Stephanie?
Stephanie. So can you one for his family and Hope's family,
Yes,
please?
I mentioned her.
I would also like to include council the council loses a close family member. The city should recognize that as well. Your wife, your mother, just close. Okay, now. I'm not saying that we don't have good workers. That is not what I'm about to say. But I am so concerned about nepotism. We would say they don't work in the same department. They don't this, they don't that, they don't whatever. But to me, it's still nepotism.
You talk, where you nepotism with what?
Employees. Okay, well, let me break it
Where,
down. We just hired,
Harley. My daughter, it's fine, I don't care.
It's not nepotism.
and that,
to me, it's nepotism.
Maybe to you, but you're wrong.
Well,
well, I mean,
Look at the statute.
hold on a second, that we,
Look at the statute.
no, hold on, we supposed to be getting involved in hiring.
to me, it's policy. This is not having to do with, she's still gonna be hired.
Is it
She
in the
is-
policy, Shirley?
She is hired.
Is it written in the policy?
Will y'all please let me say what I'm trying to say? I'm not gonna interrupt you.
You're making a serious accusation,
That's
Like
what I
you,
was thinking.
and you don't know what you're talking
like you
about.
do,
And you don't know what you're talking about.
like you do, Bill.
I know what I'm talking about.
Well, at any rate, just because you work next door, you're not in the same department. You all would be surprised at the complaints I get. I know it's not changing anything, but we can be aware of what's going on. We had two sisters working in the same department. I know that's not, I'm not supervising her. They're not supervising them. But to me, it's family. We have a city of just family members. And other people should be able to get some of these jobs. Now, I'm doing my job as a constituent, representing the people I serve, Bill. Whatever you say, I appreciate it. Well, I do respect you. And I respect what you said. But at any rate, that's the end of that conversation. Secondly, we can't just close the city and not recognize, and not let the community know that we're closing. We have a community page that we could put it up. We could say that the city will be closed for 3 or 4 hours. It's not right for us to do it. And we got to do better. Okay, and with that, we need nets for the basketball court at Lockwood. It looks, yeah. And I think I'm done, since I've been so rudely interrupted. I'm through, thank you.
There's Andrew. Bill.
There's 2 locations. One is at 504 Plantation and one at Center and Old Dixie, where a contractor did work there and piled up truckloads of stuff.
Yeah, the one at Center and Dixie, I have talked to the owner of that property, he's supposed to be having that removed. He said 504 Plantation.
Yes,
Is,
they piled it on both sides of the road. They logged it or something.
if it's where I'm thinking at, it's actually I'm not gonna name no names, it's actually property owner's property, they own a big piece of property. I went out there and looked the other day, is it right before Miller Road? Or just past Miller Road coming from 27? I'm not sure if the address is.
If you turn, it's next to the house L.R. Thomas had.
Okay, no, it's not what I'm thinking of. Okay, I know, I'll look.
By the bed office, by the bed office.
I thought you were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, there's another one that I had got a complaint on down the road. And it does look like they're cleaning a vacant lot, but it's actually the homeowner, they own like a big.
Yeah, okay, well, we received a cleaning bid. What's status of that? What do we do?
We'll try to do it internally.
Well, for what that is, you could hire a person and you have them 5 days a week, yeah. What's the status of our streets striping? We had a motion, second, and a vote to stripe the downtown area and I guess whatever you call the historical area, whatever it is.
CRA district, I think, is crazy.
But
I didn't want to do that, and then get the CDBG grant, to prepay them all. And then
we didn't say anything like that, John, and you don't get to make that kind of a decision. We told you exactly what we wanted to do, and you do it. That's where I get complaints. And Shirley, if you get, I haven't had any complaint, but if you get complaints about that, what you're calling that petition, my phone number is 850-843-5656, and I will explain it to them. I understand what you think, but what you don't know is how hard it is to hire somebody in Perry, Florida.
I said,
Hey.
Really, you was lucky I moved up here when I did.
Pardon?
You were lucky when I moved up here.
Yes. That position is the most difficult position to fill in a city, small city. There's nobody.
We had 2 applicants. They were both good applicants, but one was better.
Yeah.
and remember, I'm not just speaking of that one position,
I,
okay?
Yeah.
So.
I
said-
Very small community, you ain't got any that's not
You
in
think I don't
somebody in this
You
community.
think I don't understand that?
It's just saying.
You think I don't know how many qualified people we have in the city of Perry? I know all of that. Yeah, we can't even get a black guy to work on the police force. Wanna know why? Because we're not trying.
I disagree with that.
I-
I don't like voting off.
That's whatever you say. I don't think
That's,
we
that's
try
an
hard enough.
inappropriate accusation, Ms. Shirley.
Well, it's okay.
You don't know how many we have processed who did not make through because they couldn't pass the background.
Well,
So if you want, we're not gonna lower the standards.
well, not asking you to go to
And
stand,
I take offense to what you just said. No,
but
I
I
really
think
do.
you ought to try harder.
Yeah, we need to try to respect one another if we can, best we can. Just one thing I wanna bring up is, close to where you're talking about the vet's office. Dixie, that cable that came loose and swung down across Plantation Road. I would like to find out. It wasn't a power line, it was Comcast or Consolidated or some kind of, anyway, you call one place and it's not theirs, you gotta call somebody else and you gotta try to find some, I don't know if it ever got fixed or not. But my point is we need to, either we gotta pass which I hate passing ordinances for things as crazy as this, but some kind of call out number, we can say, hey, your line's hanging down,
Well,
get it fixed.
if
Well,
it's
it's a good-
Comcast, they will not take a call from anyone except the person that's affected. We've tried. when we had a line that our truck pulled down right here on Ellis Street,
Uh,
they would not take my call, and I've dealt with it many times. I'm not just saying, I've tried calls many times. They will not, the person that is affected has to call.
If you.
Because I told them, I
Well,
said,
if we,
I
well,
said,
if
you want us just to rip it down to get it out?
Well, just-
Here behind us right now that's down unless they fix it in the last hour or so. That was reported through dispatch for about 4 hours now.
well, if y'all would just brainstorm a little bit, come up with some ideas. We need to come up with some way. I mean, we don't need to be chasing down who owns what line. If you cut the dang thing, we'll figure it out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Not suggesting we do that either, just saying if, but we need like some kind of one call. We can just say, hey, there's a line hanging,
You get the robo, both tried it, that
but
was.
yeah. Anyway, that's all I had, and
Even when we have emergency calls for power lines down or Comcast, like, we can't get a hold of nobody, so. I don't know how you're gonna get a hold of anybody. That's even during the middle of the day.
all right. Nothing else. Thank y'all very much.
I have a question. You all uniforms, the PFAS,
Man,
what it's called, PFAS, whatever chemicals in the uniforms that you all wear,
No boss. It's PFOS.
the PFAS.
not for us. We got different
You
uniforms.
got different, you don't have to
We get
wear.
ours through Alsco.
Okay, that's good.
All right. Thank y'all. Name? Some can, some can't.
CDBG.
What they do is it's hard to the city. They have already-
Right.
Picture.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so Christie, she lived down there. So Brandy.
Just so y'all know, like,
Brandy's coming.
what?
No, but it gives her, she got a.
Man,
that's why I was